What happens when a property doesn't appraise for what you paid for it? Do you need more money? And if so, how much? Answers to those questions and more are in today's video. In episode 148, I talked about the potential consequences of not having a financing condition in your offer, specifically mentioning when an appraiser values the property for less than what you paid for it. The short story is that if you paid more than what an appraiser thinks that the place is worth, then you're responsible for the difference in values in cash, which is true, but the math isn't quite as simple as what I alluded to in episode 148, so I thought I'd put together a few examples to help you better prepare for your house hunting experience. Let's say you pay $970,000 for a 2-bedroom house in East York, but an appraiser who's working for your lender, who you're borrowing your mortgage from, values the property at $940,000. Yes, you're responsible for paying an extra $30,000, the difference between those two numbers, on top of the down payment in order to make up that shortfall. But remember, the minimum down payment required for that $970,000 purchase is $72,000, and the minimum down payment required for a $940,000 purchase is $69,000. So since you should have that extra $3,000 because you were planning on paying $970,000, your shortfall is $30,000, but you should have that kind of extra $3,000. So the shortfall that you have to come up with is $27,000. Now, maybe you weren't planning on putting the minimum $72,000 down as a down payment, and instead you were planning on putting $90,000 down. So you have 90, you only need 69, so that means that you have an extra $21,000 of down payment funds, so your shortfall is reduced to $9,000. Let's look at a situation over the $1 million threshold because the minimum down payment required is 20% of the purchase price. So consider that you buy something for $1.6 million and it only appraises for 1.5. So your shortfall is $100,000. But you should have had $320,000 available as down payment funds, and the $1.5 million valuation only requires $300,000 in down payment funds. So you should have an extra $20,000. So your $100,000 shortfall is now reduced to $80,000. Having a property not appraised for what you've paid for it can be devastating, especially if you don't have a lot of extra cash for down payment funds. So using the info from this video, prepare yourself for a worst case scenario when you're buying something without a financing condition. That way you'll be much better prepared and you'll have greatly reduced stress levels if the property doesn't appraise. I'm Jamie Harnish, Toronto Real Estate Navigator with Bosley Real Estate. I want to thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you watching and I hope to see you again. Take care.